Nobody's perfect. I'm a money coach who specializes in budgeting, and I don't always get it right with my budget or my spending. Some months I'm over budget, other months I'm way under budget. One thing I never do, though, especially if I'm over budget, is give up. I never toss my budget to the side. I figure out how to bounce back financially and get on the right track. A lot of women I've worked with have had a bad habit of throwing their budget out the window when things didn't go according to plan. That is a recipe for things to go even further south. Throwing in the towel because of one bad spending day can lead to a bad spending week, month, or longer. Then, next month or next year or whenever, you're trying to undo all of that unnecessary damage. So, if you struggle with knowing how to bounce back when you've blown your budget, I'm here to shed some light. I'm going to share tips and strategies that will help you get back on financial track when things don't go according to plan with your budget. Remember, it's much easier to bounce back from a bad day's worth of spending than a bad month's worth of spending. So, here's how to bounce back when you've blown your budget. First, acknowledge what happened without guilt. I feel like this step is critical because it's so easy to blame ourselves for mistakes, but that doesn't do us any good. We can't change it. The damage is done. The past is in the past. Blowing your budget does not define your overall success with money. How you respond, how you learn and grow is what counts. When you've blown your budget, take some time to reflect on what happened. Try to be as objective as possible here. What triggered your overspending? What could you have done differently? How can you learn from this scenario so you don't repeat it in the future? Was it a huge sale, an unexpected purchase, or shopping after an emotional day? The more you can pinpoint the things that caused you to derail your budget, the more you can work to avoid those things in the future. And I just want to remind you, nobody is perfect with budgeting or anything else in life. I am a full time money and budget coach, and I don't always get it right. The next thing you need to do is review your current situation. One of the best ways to bounce back when you've blown your budget is by taking stock of where you stand after the fact. Get a snapshot of your current situation. How much did you overspend? Are there any bills, expenses, or other budget categories that are at risk? To complete this review, check your account balances, review upcoming bills, assess any available cash reserves. If you have bills that can't get paid because of your overspending, pull what you need to from savings to help cover the cost. If you don't have a savings, see if you can get a grace period on payments until your next paycheck. The goal is to avoid using credit to help you get out of this bind because that will only push you further behind. I also encourage you to sit in the feeling. Recognizing that this is not a position you want to be in again will help you avoid controllable overspending in the future. Okay, the next thing you can do is to adjust your budget for the remainder of the month. Bouncing back when you've blown your budget means taking responsibility for your actions. Because you overspent, we now have to make some adjustments to your budget for the rest of the month. So, first, prioritize your essentials. Make sure your fixed expenses like rent, utilities, debt payments aren't in jeopardy. And assuming you've already paid those bills or you have enough to pay them, you'll transition your focus to cutting back on the non essentials. So, look at your discretionary spending categories and assess which ones can be reduced or eliminated temporarily to help you make up for your overspending. Maybe you skip dining out, pause some streaming services, or put off any salon appointments. Again, this will only be temporary. The is to make up any cash that was overspent during your budget blowout. You will always have the opportunity to regroup and start fresh with your budget next month. Okay, final tip. I want you to use this experience as a learning opportunity. I know I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want to spend some more time here. How can you take this experience, learn from it, and make sure you don't make the same mistake in the future. Figuring that out is what will get you results long term with your money and budget. So you can start by asking yourself some of those reflective questions I covered. Identify what worked and what didn't work in your budget that caused overspending. Get clear on what you could have done differently that would have made an impact. I want you to use this experience as an opportunity to reach new levels in your personal finance journey. We will never be without mistakes, but we can always learn from them and make some impactful adjustments for the future. So, there you have it, some quick ways to bounce back after you've blown your budget. Remember, it's important to keep your focus on moving forward. We can't change the past. Don't focus on what you did wrong. Focus on how you can move forward. And if you need help with budgeting, that is something I do. Visit citygirlsavings.com to learn more.